Hey, Tactical, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I know what you're thinking. Another one? Yes, I've got another MAC-11, although, technically speaking, it's an Ingram M11.
This is another Airsoft mic production.
Got a minute? I got something I want to show you in back. Lon, I have a little equalizer here. We're going to try to sell it to the department. The Ingram.
Ingram, huh? 9mm.
So, this ain't just any old M11 or MAC-11, whatever you want to call it. This one is from Maruzen. And as you can see, the packaging is mimicking a wooden crate. However, I think it's fantastic that they actually give you a nice hard case. Decent. So let's get this open. Try not to damage it because obviously I want to keep the sleeve. Because this is quickly becoming quite hard to buy just anywhere. So, I tried to find this in England, couldn't find it in stock anywhere. So I looked just a little bit further away from England and I found this bad boy in Ireland. Nice! Fun fact, did you know in Ireland, my actual full name, which is Michael, of course, hence the Mike, my actual full name in Ireland is Mihal. Mihal! So technically I'm Airsoft Mihal. I love it. Anyway, even though Mihal is the full Michael, I wonder what Mike is in Irish, in Ireland. I don't know. But anyway, look at this. What a package. Again, it's really interesting buying a product brand new in 2026 compared to when it first came out. Now, hold on to something tight. Guess what? This first came out almost 20 years ago. Bruh. Good grief. That's older than some of my viewers. In fact, any of my viewers out there who are under the age of 20, you need to be referring to this as Uncle Mac. And straight away I can see, thank goodness, you get a proper sized 50 round mag. And of course, one of those bad boys, metal, nice. And of course, the star of the show. Look at this baby. Looking nice, looking nice. Now straight away I'm going to tell you, don't need to go in depth on this bad boy because it was only a couple of months ago I did that one, the HFC one. Actually, no, that's the well one. There's the HFC one. And yeah, same principle, but I'll tell you this now, like I said, Maruzen, and the build quality on this in terms of the switches and how it feels, it's higher quality than that HFC one. Real talk, I mean, for starters, the HFC's can is plastic. Maruzen, metal. And again, all these switches on here, they're so firm. It's just a better quality build. So again, not going to go too in depth. Just want to complete that picture and then I'm going to go immediately to a, how decent does that look? Okay, let's have a quick look at the trades. So from a distance, you would probably think, nice, they've got all the legit trades on there. No, they haven't. What they've got is the logo, nice. That looks correct. Good, good. But then when you get down there, from a distance, it still looks correct. However, it starts off good, Ingram, M11, but then the rest, Airsoft. Now, can I just qualify something? When I said this is a better build than the HFC one, That's only with certain aspects because, yes, I've already mentioned the controls and everything that I've already touched on this feels quality. However, there's a lot more metal going on with the HFC. If you want to refer back to the video I did on this, I had magnets sticking all over this bad boy. Not completely, but mostly. Not so much on the Maruzen. In fact, the only thing on this that is actually steel is the stock. Any other metal is going to be alloy, and for the most part, everything there is some form of strong polymer build. Why? Because it's made in Japan. Tokyo, Japan to be precise. But there's a lot less metal in here than the HFC. Of course, you're going to have some metal internals on this. But yeah, if you're going to judge it by its metal content and you're going to include the can, then yes, you can say there's far more metal going on with this Maruzen. But for the actual receiver itself, upper and lower, internally and externally, the HFC takes it. Right, like I said, not going to dwell on it because like I said before, I've done a Mac a few times before. The last one was about 8 weeks ago. But anyway, so very quickly, your steel stock, which is retractable, of course, and that folds down. And just beneath that stock, you've got your rear sight. And there you have your front sight and of course your cocking handle or charging handle if you like. And there's your trigger and trigger guard, no, not metal. And there's your safe and fire selection. Now again, this is a 2026 purchase. Apparently this has an insane rate of fire, but will it beat the current record for a Mac, Airsoft Mac, at the moment in my collection, the 36 rounds per second? Will the Maruzen beat it? We'll see. We're going to get to the other side and then we're going to do a test. But before I do that, I just want to clarify once again, visually, what you're getting in metal. So, starting at the front, you can. Metal. The bolt handle. Metal. The stock. Metal. The mag. Metal. And of course, where you can put your strap or any piece of material you want, that there, metal. Now taking a look on this side, your selector switch, metal. So that's semi or full auto, and of course, all your pins and things, metal. And there's that safety switch again between safe and fire, and you can see a nice little red right there, which means it's not on safe. Naughty, naughty. By the way, your mag release, metal. Nice. That's where you put your gas. Now, instinctively, I want to put green gas in this bad boy. But because predominantly polymer, it is recommended that you use something a little weaker. Anyway, I'm going to err on the side of caution because I've not had a look inside that yet. There's definitely a lot of steel going on inside the HFC, so I've got no problem using green gas in that. But I'm going to treat this like a Tokyo Marui. Now in the States, I don't know if it's still a thing, the equivalent is duster gas. Right. Like I said, I'm going to do it that way. Bolt open, mag in. Let's do this. Come on. I was always going to put one of these bad boys on. Come on. It's a Mac. By the way, if it had the real steel markings, and this was of course the 9mm, you would have Military Armament Corp on there also. But anyway, look, that's what it looks like with the bolt open. Now, I am fully expecting Tokyo Marui type figures. So about 270. Yeah. And I tell you what, that's surprising. And I'm not talking about the FPS or the joules, the kick. It's got a decent kick on it despite them figures. Quick quick look at the average before we test the rounds per second. Okay, so I can't complain. I knew exactly that it was going to give me them sort of TM figures there, and that's perfect. 269 out of the box. But some people are saying it has an insane rate of fire, and another thing that's way better on this than the HFC, that selector switch between the semi and the full feels firm. It doesn't over travel, it stops where it's supposed to stop, unlike the HFC. So again, overall, a better build on the Maruzen. Right, now, rounds per second. Woo! Look at that, you can call that 21 rounds per second. Better than the HFC. Nowhere near the Well. The Well one still holds the record for an Airsoft MAC full auto. But to be fair, this Maruzen only just beat the HFC. The HFC, if I remember correctly, was about 18 rounds per second. So just a couple of more rounds faster on the Maruzen.
How about that? Those 32 slugs came out in a second and a half.
Oh my goodness! Did you see that first shot? Ha! That was dead on bullseye, the first shot. Oh my goodness! What a beautiful piece. Look!
Perfect!
Groovy, 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 groovy.
Perfect!
Right, so there's still rounds in there. Possibly maybe only a, 2 or 3? I don't know. Let's empty the bag. Okay. Alright. I love this thing. This thing is awesome. And it keeps firing. It's empty, but it keeps firing. That is brilliant for movie making. Legend has it there has been a few little improvements for this 2026 purchase, and so far, out of the box, it performed brilliantly. There were no hiccups, nothing. I am well impressed. The one recommendation I will give though, and you will find that the manufacturer and certain sites that sell it will tell you, make sure your BBs are stacked correctly in the mag. So don't leave gaps or anything. You know what I'm talking about. I love this thing. The only criticism, I wish there was a bit more metal going on. But hey, made in Japan, what more can I say? Oh, by the way, my website, airsoftmike.com, where I do a little blog and other airsoft intel, is fully up now. And at some point, I'll do a more detailed, in-depth blog on this bad boy.
Lon, it's not licensed.
Jack, neither am I.